Willow Talk, it's cricket season officially. Like right in the middle of it, Alyssa Healy alongside me, Adam Peacock.
Wow.
Except empty chair. Not even a chair there. We removed his chair, full stop. Brad Haddon. Where is he?
Took a cashy. I heard he's spending some time with Ronald McDonald, and that could just be a rumour, but he's literally ditched us for more money elsewhere.
Fair.
Yeah, just for today, though. He'll be back.
Understandable.
Yeah.
Understandable. So we've got Ashes on the horizon, WBBL, people having a crack at you even though you weren't there and involved, total drive-by by Sophie Devine. You're sitting there watching a bit of Shield.
I am. I mean, this is going to make no sense to people who are listening like later, but just watching the Shield game, New South Wales, Victoria, the SCG. So
over the course of the next hour or so, if you hear just an indiscriminate noise come out of nowhere like, yeah, or like, oh, what was it? Like that's Heels watching New South Wales,
or if
Victoria.
I just don't respond at any point in time, something exciting's happened.
Distracted.
Yeah.
This episode, we've got a beauty lined up because we've got Ben Duckett as part of it. He will be a guest. The English are in Perth preparing. Looking at wonderful headlines from the West Australian, as we pointed out last week. So looking forward to chatting to one of the key cogs of England's batting lineup.
I'm actually looking forward to asking him about that stuff. Like, I wonder how much they read into that or how much they, like, enjoy it. Hads love the theatre of it, but as a player, like, do you love it? Do you read it? Do you see it? Do you try and stay away from it? I want to know what they do.
Good point. Yeah. Good point. It's only a week away, the Ashes. So, I mean, it's really bubbling away because our good mates at Take the Mick, I think it's called, have sent through some shirts that they're putting out there this summer. So it's England's Moral Victory Tour 2025-26. And the backing of them, you're shaking your head here. I
don't want anything to do with this. I just feel like cricket karma works really quickly. And I mean, we'll get into it later, but Sophie Devine can attest to this. But I don't want to put any part of this. You read it out. Tell everyone what it's all about. They are pretty funny, but I'm staying out of it.
Fair enough. Because someone
I'm too close to the action.
Someone in your house has to maybe face Jofra Archer at 10-6.
Yeah.
at Perth Stadium. At Take the Mick Official is the place to go. TakeTheMick.com for these shirts. I mean, we'll go back just over 10 years ago and there were shirts going around that Stuart Broad is a shit bloke.
Yeah.
That was the shirt. Things have become a little more refined in this part of the world since then. It's England's Moral Victory Tour. The back of this one says, England's Moral Victory Tour, brought to you by the Spirit of Cricket. Have another little look at the next one. It's like a same old English always whinging. They say that about us and cheating. Fair enough, all's fair. And Johnny Bairstow, keep walking. It's got a nice little motif next
Admittedly,
to it.
that one's pretty funny.
That's pretty good. It's funny because Johnny's not here to defend himself as well, unfortunately. But no, I won't wear that in the Ben Duckett interview, but it might make an appearance a bit later on.
Yeah,
so,
no doubt.
If you want to get involved there, as mentioned, takethemick.com. So we'll have that a bit later on. We've got Sundries. You mentioned Sophie Devine in the WBBL. The WBBL is off and running, obviously. Grace Harris was on Triple M over the weekend at that rained-out match, the T20, and you got brought up by...
I've literally been off social media since I've got home, and people are just drive-bys.
2 drive-bys.
All week. I feel like all week.
2 drive-bys.
All I get sent at the moment is just Instagram reels of people taking pot shots at me. So we'll just simmer down, everyone. I'll get my chance to come back at some point.
And I look forward to it as well, because knowing you won't let that opportunity just go right on through to behind the stumps.
We'll see.
Yeah, right. Now, before we get really into it, a quick reminder, we want to hear from you. Drop us a DM on Instagram by searching Willow Talk Podcast or leave us a review on Apple Podcasts. 280 reviews at the moment. The aim is 300 by Boxing Day. Bretsky asks, Alyssa Healy makes this podcast great with her insights and objectivity. Can't wait to hear her put Broad in his place. Face to face as well. You are around for that, or are you off playing a WBBL? Did you check the diary?
Not sure yet. That one's not in the diary. I almost forgot today's episode, so let's deal with that when we get there. But I look forward to that chat, actually. I actually think that he's like a really good person to listen to. I enjoy his commentary, and I feel like he'll be a little less biased than what everybody thinks he is. So
yes,
it's should be fun.
He will leave the country.
I've already said that. I said everyone will love him.
I wouldn't say love him, but have an immense amount of respect for the guy as well, with the odd catcall still from back in the day about
when you nick one to first slip. Yeah, we've all done it.
Half a chance we might bring that up.
We're going to bond over that. It's fine.
Now, thank you for 50,000 subs on YouTube, by the way. It's flying at the moment on YouTube. We really appreciate all the support from the audience and all around the world. A lot of love for Heels after the World Cup chat. A lot of people just embracing your Heels, just putting an arm around you, which is good. And a few of our Indian viewers said, now you know how we felt in 2023 with the men.
Yes.
So, yeah, I guess you do.
Cheers. Doesn't make me feel any better, but thank you.
Yay, cricket.
Yay.
Yay, cricket. Let's get to it. Our special guest, Ben Duckett. Yes, very special guest on Willow Talk. It's great to have him along, and thank you for making time for us, Ben Duckett. How's Perth, mate?
Yeah, thanks for having me on. It's good. It's obviously incredible weather. Yeah, I've been here for a few days now, so we've been straight into it with training, which has been good.
You've obviously come in quite early. What is the preparation like for you guys? Obviously, I think you're playing a game against the Lions potentially, but what does prep look like knowing you're still, 10 days away from the first test?
Yeah, we're basically just training as a group. I mean, the other lads from New Zealand got here last night, so I've basically had the last 4 or 5 days. We've had Woody, Josh Tongue, Gus Atkinson, those guys bowling at us. So, yeah, good facilities. I think it's Liliac Hill, is it? Or I might have said that wrong. But, yeah, good ground and just facing our bowlers for the next 10 days, with that Lions game.
Yeah, because going back, and the back in my day brigade have piped up, and a few of them have said, why aren't they playing a competitive fixture against Australian opposition? But you guys are comfortable it's almost like an intra-squad practice game, given that you know so much about the so-called opposition when you're out there.
Yeah, I mean, look, I don't know what the right answer is, but I think, we play a lot of cricket at the minute, and we've obviously just come off the back of our summer, and we're certainly not, lacking any game time. So yeah, I don't make those plans, but I'm pretty happy getting ready in the nets. And if we're facing, Jofra, Woody and those guys every day, I think that'll be pretty good prep.
Yeah, I can't imagine that's a whole lot of fun. Potentially, it's usually like, Ben, usually when we do interviews like this, it's our last question, who's the hardest to face in the nets? But come on, give us a few horror stories of facing those guys in the nets.
Well, it's probably pretty obvious. The surprising, Woody's actually okay, and he hates me saying this because obviously he's a fast bowler, but he's pretty friendly in the nets. He pitches it up, and yeah, the one thing with Woody is he'll kind of tell me the ball before that he's going to bowl a bouncer, which is the last thing you want to hear from someone who bowls 90 mile an hour. But he gets it about half a metre above my head. But yeah, the worst to face is definitely Joff. He runs in like it's a test match, and he'll give you a couple of bounces regularly. So yeah, thankfully I haven't faced him yet, and yeah, I'll try and avoid him in the rotations.
I'll tell you what, I hope that you're out in the middle at Lilac Hill, because those nets are horrific seeing nets. So I hope that they've at least given you a couple of wickets on the square, because that's a little bit easier visually.
Yeah, we have been, and there is actually a bit of a ridge on the net. So yeah, I don't really fancy those guys in there.
Far out.
It's not good.
Really?
It's a good facility, but the nets are not great. So at least they're treating you nicely. It's a nice welcome.
Do you reckon, Ben, that guys like Mitch and Josh will give you a heads up ball before when they're going to bowl one at 85, 90 in a Ashes test that it's going to go up your throat?
Oh, definitely not. That'll be down to reacting, but I'm sure there'll be plenty of them.
Hey, obviously the big story down this part of the world, you've only come in the last couple of days, is the continuing rehabilitation of Pat Cummins and a tiny little spot in his back where we're a nation that's wondering what on earth is going on with that particular piece of infrastructure on our Australian captain. When it broke, I mean, do you guys have a WhatsApp group that you started flicking around and going, the link to the story was there, or a few messages poking around about the potential unavailability of Pat Cummins?
No, I mean, the WhatsApp group started the other day, so yeah, it changes all the time with different series. But look, it's one of them. You want to play against the best, and you don't want to have guys like that missing out in series like this. But on the flip side, I'm an opening batter, and he's probably one of the best bowlers in the world. So yeah, quietly, I hope it's not too bad. But obviously any game where he's not playing is an advantage for us.
We talk a lot about on here, and I know Hads is normally with us, and he loves the theatre of, the Ashes series, and you guys landed in Perth, and the headlines are there. I hate it personally. As a player, it's not nice to read it. I mean, there's chat coming from your side about this is the worst Australian Ashes team since 2010. How much do you guys read into that or buy into that stuff? Is it something you just park, you see it, you laugh at it, you go, whatever, let's just go play cricket? Or is it something that you guys really enjoy sort of buying into as well?
No, we certainly don't. And, I know that was from Brody, and I think he's enjoying his time, off the field now, and he can say whatever he wants. And, it's obviously quite funny to see. But, yeah, the world we're living in now with podcasts and, these headlines will go everywhere, and it's pretty hard not to see them. But, yeah, we just want to, go about our business out here and make sure we're ready for the first game. And yeah, I'm sure it'll be just an unbelievable series. So, yeah, that's all we're doing.
We've heard previous players say that Australia can be a really stressful place to tour. Like, the crowds can get on you. You guys go for a walk. I mean, back in the day, Stuart Broad would go for a walk and people would be walking around in Stuart Broad is a shit bloke shirts up in Brisbane after what happened about 10 years ago. But to me, I don't know, maybe it's just because I live here. I look at it and go, how can you not enjoy touring Australia when back in England at the moment, it's getting dark at about 4 o'clock in the afternoon and it's pretty hard to play cricket outside? I mean, Ben, can you enlighten me on something that potentially I'm missing here? But are we that bad in this part of the world?
Well, from my experience, no. We've been welcomed in so far, and everyone we've kind of bumped into and stuff, there's been none of that just yet. I'm sure as the series goes on, it's going to get a bit like that, but that's part and parcel of playing in the Ashes series. I think this group we've got, I actually saw the other day I'm the fourth oldest, which was tough to see. So we've got quite a fresh group coming here where, there's not a lot of baggage, which I think will help us. We've just got a group of players who, yeah, as you say, we're over in Perth and the sun's out and we're training and going to be playing. So, yeah, there's certainly no complaints from this side. Just yet, anyway.
Just yet. Something will happen. Someone will say something that's picked up by a stump mic. You know how it works, and then it'll all kick off.
Or odds on that being Harry Brook.
Yeah, he had a good one in New Zealand, didn't he? We'll see who it'll be.
It'll be someone. What about yourself, mate, growing up, watching tours from this part of the world in the night, growing up aspiring to be an English cricketer? Is there something that jumps into your mind which is borderline iconic that you remember watching in a Ashes match that was taking place here?
I mean, weirdly, I think obviously the time difference doesn't help, especially when you're growing up and those late nights watching. I can't remember like watching loads of stuff from this side of the world in the Ashes. The obvious one that most people say is 2005 in England. I think for me that was, I was 10 years old then. I just remember watching it at school and stuff, and obviously I mentioned the one that England won, which was great. But there's not been loads of good series over this way for England. Obviously the one in 2010-11 was it? Was pretty special from an England side. But yeah, we just want to come out here and try and be one of those teams who can be spoken about in years to come about this one.
You've played a little bit of cricket over here in the past, obviously, referencing your stint in the BBL. Are you looking forward to playing on Australian wickets? Obviously, personally, I think it suits you batting a little bit. I mean, you take the game on. You know that once you get through the new ball, they're pretty fun to bat on. So is that something you're looking forward to?
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to the challenge. I know, how tough it is for touring sides coming over here. I'm not, expecting or setting myself any targets. I know I'm opening the batting against probably the best bowling attack in the world in their home conditions. So, I know how tough it's going to be. But, yeah, obviously I've had, a few times out here, slightly different playing T20 cricket. But, it's nice coming to a place where I've played at a lot of the grounds. Last year the MCG was my home ground. You know, it's quite nice that you've had that experience. You know, I don't think I'll be quite as welcome back there come Boxing Day, but there might be a couple in the crowd that remember me from last year. But yeah, it's just a place I've always wanted to come and certainly play red ball cricket, Ashes cricket. You know, I'm really looking forward to what's to come.
With your emergence in the English cricket team, certainly under Brendon McCullum, obviously you made your debut back in 2016. There was a bit of a break. When he got the job and then redefined how he wanted his team, especially to go about it with the bat, why has it suited you so much, do you feel?
Well, I think it's probably more the way that they wanted to play the game, and I was just doing that already in county cricket. I think they've been very selective of who they wanted to bring in, and you know, they haven't necessarily brought people in and told them to change the way they play. They've just looked at how people are playing in county cricket and gone, this is going to work for our team. So I guess when I first played for England, you know, I was playing kind of the same way I play now, and I didn't believe that someone like me could open the batting in international cricket, because I've grown up watching, you know, Alyssa, Kirk, Andrew, these guys who can leave the ball is a good start. You know, and I just didn't believe that the way that I played was, you know, going to be okay. Whereas Baz has come in and said, you know, why not? Why don't you just play your natural game and just stick with it? And thankfully, that's just the way that I play.
So, I don't know, I'm guessing here, you can fill in the gaps, but when you come into the squad and when you're around the squad with Brendon McCullum, is it a pretty simple chat with him? He just wants you, in particular, just play a natural game, mate. He doesn't need to tinker with anything, like delve into it in a psychological sense. It's a really, really simple message.
Yeah, that's it. And I think probably that was what it was for maybe the first couple of years. And I think now it's definitely about reading moments. And, you know, he'll come up to me and say, you know, where now you're a better player than just, you know, getting 40 off 30 and getting us off to a good start. You know, there's moments as an opening batsman, for example, it could be at Perth in a few weeks where we've got, you know, 5 overs to see out at the end of the day. And, you know, I did it against India last summer, where actually just get through it. I don't care how many runs you've got, you know, just be there in the morning. And I think that's where we're trying to go as a team now is, you know, not just being this entertaining, reckless at times side. And it's something that I've got frustrated with myself in the past, where, you know, I might have got 80 off 60 and it looks great and stuff, but, you know, they're going to put my side in a good position, but they're certainly not going to win us a test match. So it's realising moments and doing that and then kicking on and getting a big score. And I think that's where we're really wanting to go as a side now.
So, Ben, are you along the lines of like me when there's chocolate in the fridge? For your version of chocolate in the fridge is a ball on about 5th or 6th stump, and it's hip height, and it's like, oh, Ben, leave it. Oh, no, I can't help myself.
Well, it's funny. I mean, the one thing with, yeah, I've never been a great lever of the ball. That's something that everyone knows. You know, I left maybe 2 or 3 off Boomer in the summer, which was good for me. But yeah, I guess so. It's a strength and a weakness. You know, I think sides know that if they do bowl it out there, I could hurt them. You know, there is a chance that I do nick one to the keeper or first slip. So I guess it's just committing. And, you know, if I am going at the ball, especially out here with the pace and the bounce, if you do go hard enough, hopefully it'll go over the slips. But yeah, it's just, you know, I might leave a couple out here, but yeah, I don't think the percentage will be flying up too much.
You can relate to that, can't you, Heels?
Leaving the ball is overrated, Ben. I'm on your side, so swing hard enough to go over the slips court. Yeah, it'll be fine. But that leads us to a question we were just discussing before you came on about your role in the side and, you know, the way you play and also the way that I think your top order plays as well. Has there ever been a moment where one of you have come back into the change room after maybe a dismissal you weren't overly proud of, that Brendon McCullum's gone, what were you doing? And then have you replayed any of his vision back to him to counter that?
Well, I probably would do if he did say that. But no, Baz is like, he's just an ultra positive guy. And a funny one is my first test back in Pakistan a few years ago, and I actually got 100 in the first. It was the flattest pitch ever pitched, and I got 100 in the first innings. And then in the second innings, second ball on about fifth stump, nick one to second slip. And obviously I was gutted because, I thought this is the perfect pitch to come back on and I should be getting runs in both innings. And I got back in the dressing room and Baz just went, "Unlucky, boss." A metre to his left, there's 4 runs. And I was thinking, I definitely belong here. If you're nicking off the second slip and the head coach is saying, "Unlucky, it could have been 4 on another day," then yeah, I belong here.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Many coaches in cricket like that, Heels, that you've come across.
That's pretty cool. Yeah. I mean, I haven't been rubbishing baseball this whole time, but that seems like a culture I can get around. Go as hard as you possibly can, because if it goes a metre to their left, you got 4 on the board.
Yeah. Yeah. Look, many coaches would just give silent treatment or leave it half a day and go, "So what you're doing here is," go back to the video and all that. Do you guys do a lot of video, by the way, with your batting?
Well, I think it's individual. Some people probably do loads of it. I tend to not do too much. I mean, going up against this side in a few weeks, I mean, I've faced a lot of that attack. I kind of know exactly what they're going to do, so potentially if it was a World Cup or you were playing a side that you didn't really know much about, then maybe I would. But I find a lot of those videos are just bowlers knocking stumps out the ground and nicking people off, and it's always their best bits of their package, and I don't want to see that. So
That's fair. Ben Stokes, as a teammate and also a captain, can you define it for us?
I mean, he leads by example in everything he does. I can only say we've been out here for a few days, and he has just he's been in beast mode. He has been running, bowling 2 spells, batting for 2 hours. The way he trains and stuff these days is something that I've never seen before. He's an absolute beast, and he's great to play under. Even some of the wins we've had in, go back to Pakistan on these flat pitches, there's always something happening. He always wants to take the game forward. He's another one he won't necessarily judge me at the top of the order. He knows exactly what he wants from me, and there'll be no consequences from that. But yeah, it leads by example. He's obviously, probably the most important man in this side when he's bowling. So hopefully he stays fit for all 5 tests and he's bowling in all of them, because he's crucial for us.
That's encouraging news for us, Ben, Australia. The best chance we've got is that Ben Stokes flames out after the 3rd test, because if he's bowling 2 spells now, 10 days before the first test, and he's batting 2 hours as well, maybe that's our best chance, Heels. I don't know. He's, he sounds like he's up for it, put it that way.
Yeah, moving on. Let's stop talking about Ben Stokes by the sound of it. Mark Wood, how about him? How's he tracking? I mean, as an Aussie,
the Mad Geordie,
as a fan of the sport, as a fan of Ashes cricket, how's he tracking? We're looking forward to watching him play out here.
Yeah, well, Woody's just one of the great men. He's I think especially when you're touring, he's just bouncing off the walls like a little kid and stuff. So he's been great. I've been, I don't know if I'd say fortunate enough to face him over the last few days, but he seems fit, he seems ready, he's steaming in and bowling fast. So, things are certainly looking good for us with him.
He looks like the guy that will do something, along the lines of a practical joke or just patently juvenile just for a laugh. Is this about right about Mark Wood?
Yeah, I'd say so, but he's very good at doing it with physios and those kind of guys. He doesn't really do it with us. He'll do something to the physios or the doctor or something, and Woody's obviously had some injuries in his time, so he knows them all very well. So yeah, thankfully not with us, but he's just a great man to have in the side, great team man.
A lot of people, obviously, we were glued to what was a absorbing 25 days of cricket in the series against India. Everyone's predicting that kind of setting and that kind of competitiveness will translate into something similar happening here in the Test series against Australia. But without getting you to predict anything, what do you think the root cause was? That was it just purely personality clashes out in the middle there, or was it pure competitiveness in a fiery setting?
Oh, I think it was more the competitive side. You know, India, obviously, we all know how competitive they are, and also how good a side they are. And there was no like pre-plan of it, like before the series or anything. I think it really kicked off when Zach faced that one over in about 15 minutes, and I was stood at the other end, and that really fired them up. And I think just, you know, their whole team around Zach having a go at him. We spoke that evening, and, you know, Stokesy certainly said, you know, they're all around one player. We're going to go at them tomorrow. And we went at them the next day and bowled them out for whatever and won the test. And we thought, you know, this is probably a good way to get under their skin. You know, they're so good and stuff. So finding ways to do that, you know, Australia, slightly different. But I think, you know, the way the world is now with franchise stuff, I think, you know, a lot of people hate me saying this with Ashes cricket, but we do kind of know a lot of people in the Australian side and vice versa these days. So I don't think it's quite as hostile as it maybe used to be, but, you know, when we're out there, you know, fighting for the Ashes, then who knows? It only takes, you know, one moment from either team where, you know, things are getting tight, or, you know, and someone goes at someone, and as they should, the whole team jumps on their back. And so we'll see. I mean, if it gets tight, then I'm sure there'll be some niggly moments.
Yeah.
Telling you, the most competitive cricket you play is when you're playing against your mates. People
you know.
Yeah, and I'm not saying that you're necessarily mates, but the people that you've played with, you've shared dressing rooms with, it makes it more competitive, and oftentimes that can get a little hostile. Yeah,
and Ben knows this term from no doubt following English football and football in general, that the term shithousery is an underappreciated commodity when it comes to that, because it winds everyone up who's on the opposition, be it fans and players, no end. And it sounds like Zach achieved that beautifully on that occasion. And more of it, please. More of it. Gives us stuff to talk about. Ben Duckett, we'll let you go, mate. Looks like a beautiful day there in Perth. Really appreciate your time, and go well in the Ashes, but if you know you're talking to people with accents like this, not too well, please. Cheers.
Thank you, guys. Thanks for having me on.
Back with Willow Talk. Great to chat with Ben Duckett before the break, and I've found myself some courage to put on the Moral Victory T-shirts after our guest has gone. That's a true Australian way. Don't say it to their face. Have a go at them behind their back.
Make a T-shirt with some sledging on it. Yeah, exactly. Well done.
Exactly. So, Shield this week, as you know, you're busy there watching at the SCG. But so 2 of the games kicked off Monday, another game starting Tuesday. 14 of the 15 of the squad are playing. Usman Khawaja, the only one not. He's having a rest. But, nice little sharpen up for everyone before. Was Mitch pumped about the prospect of playing at the SCG with his New South Wales mates?
I think he was, actually, just getting the opportunity to play at the SCG. I think the game was initially meant to be at Cricket Central, but I think once the big boys opted in leading into the Ashes, they shifted it there, obviously, to get some good preparation leading into the summer. But I love it when the Aussie players are back for the Shield round. Sometimes it's multiple rounds, but I love this opportunity. We get to see exactly where everyone's at, and obviously see where the next generation are at as well, playing against some of the best in the world. So looking forward to seeing the scores of that, and then hopefully the boys get a good opportunity to run around together before coming together in Perth.
Yeah, so as we sit here right now, Tasmania are batting against South Australia. You would by now, if you're listening to this, say on Tuesday, lunchtime, hopefully Jake Weatherall's still in. I don't know. That would push his claims, wouldn't it, to open the batting? But on reflection, his selection and how it's been perceived, and how the treatment of Sam Constas has come across not only here in Australia but England, you think it all has measured up okay and fair enough? It's a huge talking point, as we touched on last week.
Yeah, it is. But I think we'll all find out next week, won't we? When whoever it might be, opens up at Optus Stadium in that first game. But I think Jake Weatherall's earned his spot. He's done all the right things. He's made a lot of runs. Wouldn't surprise me if he nicks off first ball or something like that. It's always a way once you get picked in the first test team, and then you go out and make not many in that last Shield game heading in. But I'm pumped for him. I love seeing new new talent get opportunities in that Australian team. It feels like it's few and far between at the moment, but I think it's great. Obviously, Sam, we spoke a bit about him last week, but it's a great opportunity for him to just relax and play some cricket. Not worry about test selection, not worry about any form of selection. Just go out there, play cricket for New South Wales and put some runs on the board, which we know he can do, and hopefully it gives himself some confidence moving forward.
Jake, we didn't really delve into his backstory, but he was a guest on Willow Talk a couple of months ago. His story is amazing, and it's fantastic that he's on the cusp potentially of making his test debut in whatever, even if it was Bangladesh away or anything like that. It's still a monumental achievement to get to this far, given a couple of years ago, or not that long ago, he wasn't sure if he wanted to play cricket full stop. He was not sure, but to be able to rediscover your love of it and your enjoyment and balancing it with everything is just heartwarming.
It's funny how that sort of perspective changes people and changes their careers more often than not. You hear about these guys and girls that get opportunities, not just early on, but maybe later in their career they never thought they'd see coming, but all of a sudden, cricket becomes less of a priority and they start enjoying themselves, they start playing well, and all of a sudden they get to where they want to be. And I feel like that's really cool. A lot of the guys that are playing for Australia at the moment have been there for a long period of time, been doing it since they were young. So that might bring a little bit of fresh air around the group and that perspective that, this is fun. It is a job. It's a serious job, but at the same time, it's a sport and an entertainment product. And I think, running around with a smile on your face, enjoying it is a good thing.
Does it go in waves, even for someone like yourself who's been on the international scene for a very long time, the love of cricket and how much you enjoy it? And I don't know, have you ever considered the alternative at any point in your career, which may have been going back to KFC where you started all those years ago? I'm not sure.
I'd love that. I would love that. It definitely goes in waves. Like, I spent the last week absolutely hating it. And then I watched the first round of WBBL yesterday and I wish I was out there. So it comes and goes. And like I said, you find that perspective where, yes, it's my job and yes, it's what I want to be doing, but I actually still enjoy it, and it is a game at the end of the day, and it's entertainment, and this is like something really enjoyable to do. Comes and goes, but you hate it a lot of the time because it's such a fickle sport and it's a real leveler. You can have a great day and have a bad one the very next one. So it's all part of why we're crazy, but all part of why we love it.
Now, the three Shield games, they're not exactly concurrent because the one over in the West, which has the most intrigue, especially with the likely makeup of our top six, i.e. can Cameron Green bowl? That's the only thing it feels like they've got to work out right now because the rest of the lineup, I'd imagine, is locked and loaded, especially from 7 down. But, the WACA is the venue of WA and Queensland. I don't know why there's a day delay on this. I saw Mike Hussey had an Airbnb set up out on the WACA, so maybe they had trouble deconstructing that. Do you see that? Nice little fill-up for Mike. He set up a freaking tent city. It was a promotion, but Mitch Marsh got involved, so both those boys had a nice little fill-up like our friend Bradley is at the moment. So, well,
I can imagine that there's a day delay because the WBBL played there last night, so they probably need a day in between. The wicket looked nice and green, though, I will say. It was two surfaces over from where the girls played last night. Looks like right in the middle, a nice strip. So
Mike had got his tent off, by the way, as well. It wasn't there.
It seemed like that had gone. I tell you what,
you can tell where it was, though.
The new facilities look unbelievable on the TV last night. The water slides and the pool and everything looks unbelievable.
I saw that. Is the WACA now the only ground in the world with a giant water slide that makes you want to go over there mid-game and go, I want to go down a water slide? Potentially,
and I'm glad I wasn't on that trip to Perth because you might not have seen me in the game. Emma Maddox-Jeeves might have been keeping anyway because I'm going down the slide. It looks awesome though, but that would explain the day delay. But it also probably then, gives that game a little bit more airtime as well, I suppose, going the extra day.
Yes, exactly. So, am I right there? It's purely on Cameron Green bowling 12 overs.
Yeah.
That's the whole the whole world revolves around this bloke and his ability to get through rolling his arm over.
I think so. I think the 11, I feel like with the squad they've picked, the 11 sort of picks itself. You're probably going, Weatherald at the top, Marnus at 3, Smith at 4. So head at 5. It's basically a battle off for the 6. And I think, I said it last week, I don't think it will come down to Cam Green needing to bowl many overs. They've still got 4 bowlers in their lineup. Travis Head can bowl a few handy spinners if need be. So
Marnus will be putting his hand up
Marnus will be frothing. I mean, his leggies with a little bit of bounce at Optus might actually be a little bit handy, given the unknown of it. But I think if he can chip in, and I think he will be able to get through his loads this week, if he can chip in with ball in hand and play a very small role to give the quicks enough break, I think he will be at 6. And I feel really sad about someone like Bo Webster sitting on the bench after, what he's done for Australia over the last little period. But it's just ultimately a squeeze at the moment, and Marnus has done all the right things to get himself back in there.
I'll wait till Hads comes. Defer to Hads on this as well, because he was actually in and around the team when it was actually happening. That it's shades of the Shane Watson era in that the selectors did everything they could to find somewhere for Shane Watson in that top 6, wherever it was. And it feels like the same with Cameron Green. So I guess that's how they view his talent. Well,
that's what you do with talented cricketers, and you know that they can perform, you know that they can play a role in your side. You try and find the best place for them to be. And look, I mean, best case scenario, he bowls, and he bowls 10 overs for us throughout this test match. I don't think he even will need to bowl that many overs. It's just more, can his body last that time? But I think putting him back down the order to 6 will do wonders for him.
Okay then, well, name your 11. Georgina Bailey.
Good one. Well, I think the way that they've selected the 15, you've got to play Weatherald. So Weatherald will be at the top with Khawaja. I think Marnus has batted his way back into the team. He'll bat 3, Smith at 4, Head at 5. I think Cameron Green will be at 6. I think he'll play his role. Unfortunately, that means that Bo Webster's going to get squeezed out. He's done absolutely nothing wrong, so he might feel a little bit dirty about that. But unfortunately, that's the way it is. And then you got Kerry at 7, and then you've got, probably Stark at 8. That'll be a rude shock to him. He might get a nosebleed getting up that high up in the order. But you got Stark, Boland, Lyon, Hazelwood. So
Hazelwood's a lock for 11, by the way.
Well, I think
we were told.
I genuinely think they'll be pulling numbers out of a hat for that bottom 3. I think they'll make Mitch bat 8, and then the last 3 will just be pulling numbers out to see where they bat.
Josh Hazelwood says, and who told us this at the player interviews that we did? I think it's Pat Cummins said that he is a designated number 11. He calls himself a specialist number 11. He's
not bad though. The old back away slice through point. He's got that nailed down. But that's the 11 that I would go with. There's a few players that probably unlucky to miss out there, but it wouldn't surprise me if we see a little bit of change throughout the Ashes series as well. I'm not predicting that. I hope we don't, but there could be a little bit of chat around what that lineup looks like throughout the 5 tests.
So you're comfortable, even if Green can't have a big bowling load, to put him at 6.
Yep.
Is that based on the fact that you think he's best suited there, and Marnus, because of his form, has to be at 3?
Well, I think it feels like for the first time for a little while we've picked guys in form going in. Pick them while they're in form. Let's pick them while they're scoring runs, while they're confident, while they feel like they can contribute. Let's do that. And we know what Cam Green can do with bat in hand, and I feel like putting him back down to 6 will actually relax him a little bit more, and he could play that a bit more of a power role in that middle order. I still think he can contribute with the ball. It doesn't have to be 15 overs worth. It could just be 4 or 5 overs, give one of the quicks a break. The 4 bowlers that we've got, most teams only go into test matches with 4 bowlers and they get the job done. We've got enough cover, but I would have him there. I think he's the player that we want there. And like I said, Bo Webster's done absolutely nothing wrong. Every right for it to be a little bit dirty, but I feel like, Cam Green's the future.
Because the way England play as well, especially with you're trying to predict what load will be on our bowling lineup, it's not like England keep a bowling team out there for more than 100 overs, because generally either they're already out or they're declaring.
Yep.
I can't remember too many times where they've just batted for fun. Maybe the odd one in Pakistan, but yeah.
Yeah, well, I think we'll be okay with the 4, and you got a little bit of Marnus, a little bit of Travis if need be to just throw a little low full toss or something in there just to try and sneak a wicket. But I think we'll manage either way, but it will be nice to have him there as an option to bowl, but I don't think it's completely necessary. Game.
Okay, so there was this is the fun, this is the theatre that will fill in the dead air in between now and the first ball being bowled, which from an English perspective, I guess they hope lands on the cut surface, unlike a few years ago, or doesn't end up Mitchell swinging 1-3 feet to go straight through. There was a tweet that an Australian stats account, Sir Swamp Things, on X said, if England added Ian Botham and David Gower to their Ashes squad for this series, the average age of the England squad would still be 135 days younger than the Aussie squad. Michael Vaughan then tweeted the exact same thing without credit. But anyway, that's by the by.
On your Vaughanie.
So there's a bunch of old men representing Australia this time around.
Can I just say that by writing 135 days, it makes it seem a lot more than what it actually is. 135 days is still less than half a year, right?
Last time I checked.
Yeah. So simmer
on
down.
average, yeah.
Simmer down.
Simmer down.
No, it's called experience, right? And you take that experience in big moments like this. And I back our senior 11 to get the job done.
Do you tell people who are yapping a bit too much on the field to simmer down? Is that the language you use, or
or just shut up. Or shut up with some expletives in there. Mind you, I learnt that very early because I was a little bit chirpy as a young player, and I got someone turned around and told me to shut up as well. So I learnt that one early. But I think there's a lot being written about that, and I'm sure at the end of the series we can debate that even more as to, how did we go? But if our bowlers stand up for 5 test matches, I think it's going to be an unbelievable effort. If
you're young enough, you're good enough, and if you're old enough, you're good enough. I would have thought.
You can't buy experience, Adam.
No.
You can't just throw them in the side either.
Have we got any more cliches we can roll out here in the next 30 seconds? It's a game of 2 halves. Wait, 4 innings. Ollie Robinson is playing in Sydney, and he's rocked up to Cricket Central. Did you see him out there?
I didn't. Mitch was, I think he was having a bowl at the SCG with the Blues boys, and Mitch was saying it was a really odd experience for.
Oh, it was the SCG, was it?
For him to be standing at the top of his mark next to Ollie Robinson, who was running in bowling in the net next to him. Yeah, he said it was quite a weird thing to experience, but. Yeah, obviously it's not in the Lions squad, obviously not in the England Ashes squad either, but out here playing club cricket, and it's not a bad time to be out in Australia if a few bowlers go down.
Yes.
Put your hand up.
Exactly. It's win-win for Ollie. He comes out here, a couple of hammies get pinged in the England squad, he goes up the pecking order.
Yep.
If not, he's here for summer, plays a bit of cricket with his mates on a Saturday and goes to the Coogee Bay on Saturday night,
playing for Sydney Uni.
Enjoys life.
He's playing for Sydney Uni, so no doubt he's staying in the eastern suburbs somewhere, enjoying himself in, over in that side of Sydney where all of the other Pommy people live. So enjoy it.
Ollie's got bucket hat on a sunny Sunday arvo down at Bondi in that grass section, written all over him.
He's hoping for a few games at Randwick Oval.
Yeah. Where he can, at the lunch break, go over to the Coogee Bay.
Yeah, come back.
Not come back. Jai Richardson has returned to cricket, 3-wicket haul in WA club cricket, 3 for 38. In fact, he could be back in red ball action next week for WA's second 11. He'll ease back into it, but good to see him back on track with Pat adding steps to his run-up week by week as well.
Fingers crossed. It's a good one to watch this summer, I reckon.
Yes, exactly. So Hads will be excited about his man, Jai Richardson, coming into calculations potentially. Also, Jake Weatherall, just back to him, he's loving life at the moment. He said on SEN Radio this morning, being sledged by the Barmy Army would be one of the greatest moments of his life. It's a good way to look at it because it means that you're in that position to be able to be sledged.
Correct. I don't think they have anything to sledge him about yet, so we'll wait and see what creativity they come up with.
Shame about the white ball series against India with the weather playing a part. I'm scratching my head as well about the scheduling of a early December day-night test in Brisbane, given what happens there on a regular basis at that time of year at 6 p.m. The heavens opening. Fingers crossed. Hopefully I'm completely wrong, but the risk.
It is. I'm obviously conscious of where my bread is buttered, so I've got to be really careful about who runs the schedule and
exactly
and what happens. But yeah, that will be interesting. But in saying that, hopefully, fingers crossed that
they made the right call about Adelaide. Like I can say what I want. Then I know you got to be careful. Adelaide absolutely needed to be a day game again. I think they've had their run at day nighters and especially an Ashes occasion as well. I'm just not sure about the whole Brisbane thing, but fingers crossed.
We might be right. We might get a week's break of thunderstorms, and maybe they're getting it all out of the way now, and we'll be right.
Well, it's a pink ball, so you're only going to need potentially
a day and a half,
10 sessions.
We'll just get all the Arvo sessions in, and maybe an hour later in the evening, and we'll be right.
Yeah, exactly. What did you take away from the T20 series in particular?
Actually, It was good cricket to watch. I actually really enjoyed it, and I probably really enjoyed the way Australia competed. And that might sound really dumb, but I like the way that we're shaping up for the T20 World Cup. I thought we were outstanding. We're playing against a really good cricket team in India who have depth for days. They could play a second string in T20 cricket and get the job done. There's some guys sitting on the bench there that could be playing anywhere in the world. So I love the way that we competed, and I feel like there's some really good signs heading into a T20 World Cup early next year.
I reckon there's really good signs for India in that T20 World Cup if they have that particular lineup against a power hitting side, because they kind of tied them in knots.
Well, they've just got real versatility. I mean, there's guys that they can bring in to do certain roles in certain conditions, and then there's guys that come in and, you know, whack the ball further than anybody else can. So, yeah, they're exciting to watch, and it'll be a really good, enjoyable T20 World Cup to watch, I'd say, knowing the way that teams are playing their T20 cricket at the moment around the world.
Sundries, Heels, WBBL, it's kicked off again.
Yes.
Cannot let this pass. Okay, so Sophie Devine came out on social media in a press conference saying, no one likes Sydney. It's nice that they've made it over here. This caught my attention though. Healy not playing because of a broken thumbnail.
Yeah.
Or a thumbnail injury.
Yeah. Rude. Firstly, rude. Secondly, clearly doesn't know me very well. Don't have any fingernails, really. So how can I break a thumbnail? But I tell you what, then this is what I mean about the cricket gods. You come out and do something like that, and Sophie Devine was taking the piss, and as she more often than not does, because she's looking for ways to entertain herself towards the back end of her career. But holy Christ, did it backfire on her and the Scorchers. I can happily say this because we only play them once this season, so unlucky. But especially the way that she got out.
Could play him in a final.
Could play him in a final. Hope we do.
Don't go nuts.
Hope we do. But age like milk, I think the Sixers responded on Instagram with. But, I mean, all in jest.
You didn't take any offence?
No, I did take any offence, but...
Because you know her so well.
I'm looking forward to probably doing media this week if I'm back on the park and describing my broken thumbnail to everybody, but no, it's pretty funny. And
got stumped when Emma, your replacement keeper, didn't even catch the ball.
Well, that can happen, Adam, and I'm backing her in on this. A little bit more bounce at the whacker. She probably hasn't played there a lot. Good use of the body to get the ball back onto the stumps. But I think that's what made that reel even funnier, was then the way that she got out. And it just, I thought not out initially. Yeah. And then Mitch was sitting beside me and was like, that's out. Like, you could see the ball deflect and the bail, blah, blah, blah. But I think, that whole situation just ended up being funny.
And the fact that Perth got beaten by 10 wickets. It's about as bad as it could get, really. We
will happily fly over to Perth and do that again.
Will that stop Sophie coming out next time and saying something?
I look forward to their next opposition and what press conference she's got for them. Hopefully she likes that team a little bit more, maybe. Yes.
The other game on Sunday was 180 plays 180. Hobart got it done with 3 balls to spare. 6-wicket win over Sydney Thunder, a stacked Sydney Thunder, it must be said as well. And Melbourne Renegades won by 7 wickets thanks to DLS, with 3 balls remaining in a rain-affected game at Allan Border Field. So the WBBL off and running, which is good to see. Who's your overall tip?
Apart from the
Sixers, to play you in the final?
Oh. Well, I tell you what, that game randomly up in Brisbane, but the Thunder Hobart, that's a heavyweight clash, I would call it. Obviously, the Renegades won last year, but the Thunder shape up beautifully again. They've got some dynamic cricketers, but Hobart as well, dangerous side, I think. They have been for a long period of time, but I think they've got some real stability with both bat and ball and playing some good cricket. So that was a cracking contest. The Sixers have got Hobart this week, so it'll probably be a good test for them.
Must be really weird for you Aussie girls to kind of, like, literally it feels like a week since you were all last together and you spent a lot of time together, a lot of prep camps as well. Yep. And then all of a sudden you're all in different colours having a go at each other.
I went to Cricket Central last week to pick up my Sixers gear and was floating around training, and Georgia Vol walked out of the change room right next door in her Thunder kit and said hello, and I was like, I literally saw you like yesterday. Like, go away.
How's she going with her ramp shots as well, Georgia?
The best part about that was Trent Copeland on comms was like, oh, that's not funny. We shouldn't be laughing at that. She's obviously been hit in the head, and then
she's pissing herself.
Then they've cut to the Thunder dugout, and Phoebe Litchfield's lost the plot laughing. But
well, Georgia was laughing as well.
Yeah, just
thankfully found the funny side of it.
Cricket has a funny way of making you look stupid at whatever you do. So fair effort in the end to try and ramp that over your own skull, but just got it right in the grill.
Didn't quite get it right. How are you tracking, by the way?
Good.
Playing soon?
Feeling good. Yeah, hopefully give it a crack this week, but we'll see how that plays out.
Broken thumbnail has cured, which is great news.
I'd like to point out that must be really debilitating for people having a broken thumbnail. I couldn't think of anything worse.
Oh, I could think of a few things worse, like a fractured pelvis or something, or
sorry if we're going that morbid. Yeah. Okay.
Well, you said anything worse. I'll pick one out.
Judging by the last week and this thing being in the way of a lot of things, your thumb is very important. So a broken thumbnail would actually just be horrific because that would hurt.
What sets us apart in the human race, in the human species.
Yeah.
The use of the thumbs.
Can't play PlayStation, so that sucks.
Grace Harris, she was with Triple M over the weekend, and they had some rain delays, the crew at Triple M, so they had a bit of time. So what they do, they go, Grace Harris, come here and talk. And that filled in the whole rain delay, I reckon. No, she's such a good storyteller, such good positivity around her. Yeah. But she told the story of when you sledged her mum, Marie, and they've posted it on the Triple M cricket socials. Marie's got tagged in. She's a proud mum, Marie, obviously. Your side of the story?
But the best part about it is that Marie will rip back in on social media. That's the beauty of it. So watch out for that reply. But no, Grace Harris told the story true to form, left out a few expletives potentially. But that is exactly what happened. They were hanging up at Mackay. There's a beautiful sports club that overlooks the ground, and they were hanging off the balcony there. Had probably been sitting there since 3 o'clock. And it's Sixers v Heat, it's a pretty big contest. You can hear Marie, you can hear the whole Harris family just cheering on their girls, as they're well and truly entitled to. But that was exactly what happened. That she said the ball went to the boundary. They thought it was 4. It wasn't. Grace got out next ball, and I let rip at Grace about her mum. So I'm pretty sure I made a duck that game too. So it doesn't really matter at the end of the day. But
gods hitting you.
I think just told her to maybe pipe down a little bit, but poor Grace got the end of that one.
Did you hear the Haddon sledge mid-story there as well?
No.
She, I think, had said that you and Marie went to school together. Yeah,
that was a weird one. I thought maybe he meant like Uncle Ian, but
no.
He's been weird.
No.
I'm not that old, thanks, Haddons.
That's exactly what he was getting at. He's getting at the fact that you and Marie were born in the same year.
No.
With all due respect to Marie.
Yeah.
Not quite the case.
Marie might be moving better than me at the moment, so get her in there. She might be playing for the Sixers next week.
Some of the international players as well that are going to add so much. Peel off some names that are definitely worth getting out and watching WBBL.
You look at Hobart, they got Natsuva Brunt, Danny White-Hodge, two of the most explosive cricketers in the world. Obviously, Brisbane Heat got Jemima Rodrigues out here, Nadine de Klerk, they're both just battling out. In the World Cup final, last week. So there's 4 just to name a few, but we're swimming in English talent in particular this year, and some names that did really well over in the 100. I mean, Davina Perrin and I think Paige Schofield, 2 debutantes in WBBL, got first ballers, but I'd keep an eye out for them. Yeah, I'd keep an eye out for them. They're some quality cricketers. So, it's great to have Jemmy back over here. Having the Indian talent in the WBBL is great for the competition. So as much as I had PTSD watching yesterday, it was nice to see her back out here. And I guess for her to fly in Saturday night and play first thing Sunday was a huge effort. So kudos to her.
Loves cricket, obviously. Good little series between New Zealand and the West Indies in a T20 series across the ditch at the moment. There was an incredible fight back from Mitch Santner with the bat the other night. He got 55 off 28 and they just missed. Like with 3 overs to go, they were no hope. They were like 60 plus runs they needed, and Mitch went berserk, just fell short. There was another occasion where it flipped around. The West Indies nearly pulled something out of the fire. So
yeah, in that last game, that was a really fun series to watch. It happened really quickly. There was like 2 games back to back and then a day off and then played, but it was really enjoyable to watch. New Zealand have had a great summer at home, playing some good cricket. So that was that was fun. I mean, cricket's back. It's on the TV. There's so much to choose from at the moment, which is so much fun.
And, of course, Premier Cricket, grade cricket, whatever you want to call it around the country. Just got to mention Jake Fraser-McGurk, Rooster, 129 in a game in Saka Prems. So good to see him getting a hit in and doing pretty well.
Off 30 rocks, probably.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, not too many across the ground there.
Can you imagine running in as a medium pacer in club cricket in South Australia and Jake Fraser-McGurk's at the other end?
On a good deck. Yeah.
When you got the older ball?
After a sunny month in Adelaide and all of a sudden, yeah.
Or actually just bowling off spin maybe. That'd be a nightmare as well. So good luck bowlers.
Crowd catchers galore. Yeah. And just a quick one to round us out as well. Triple M Cricket, they've announced their lineup. So it's all the usual like Hads and Tubby and Junior and all the crew. But Lord Ian Botham will be part of it. Graham Swan, Bumble, Izzy Westbury from the English perspective. So it's a balanced commentary team.
What about Peacock? Is he in there?
No, he'll be there for Willow Talk.
Oh, great. Okay.
And by the way, on Willow Talk, we want to put it out there. I need some tour tips. What makes a good cricket tourist?
Yep.
Okay?
Yep.
So come armed with a few stories for me, a few tips on Wednesday. Because you guys, Thursday. You guys reckon I won't be able to?
No, Hats and I think you're going to be shocking. So we need to bring all the advice we can. We'll bring a checklist.
Yeah.
Do's and don'ts for you to fit in with, in particular, that Triple M travelling crew because that's a tough ask, I reckon.
Yeah. Liver, not overly enthused about the prospect.
It doesn't always involve drinking, Adam. It's just more about being a good tourist.
I can tell you, it does with them.
Working well with your colleagues.
Yes, exactly. Fluids and enthusiasm, as I was once told.
Great, and wear a bright shirt, I reckon.
Yeah. So what we might put it out in the Secret Cricket Club as well. Your favourite must-do, like we want to know the tips from our people who love cricket out there about what makes a good cricket tourist.
Yep.
Very defined. This is not just being a tourist.
Yeah.
Or just not being a cricket fan, it's being a cricket tourist.
I actually would like to hear it from other people because we obviously do it.
Yep.
I wouldn't call them the punters, from other people because we do it for a job, right? So we're often doing different things. But I reckon if you went on a club cricket tour of the UK with your side, I want to know what they do. What's the first thing packed or what's the first thing you do? I reckon that'd be fun.
And the don'ts as well, the things to avoid. Yeah. They could be equally
just
as
keep
humorous.
it PC, everyone.
Exactly. That was Willow Talk this episode. We'll be joined by Grimace a bit later in the week. And Heels, thanks for that.
The Hamburglar.
Have a good one. Yeah, thanks for watching the Willow Talk podcast on YouTube. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you don't have to miss an episode wherever you are. And while you're at it, check out these videos up here. They're mostly good.